Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Reftaco, and today we're back with another video on the Reftaco Eagles channel. And today, I am going to be going over my 10 favorite offensive coordinator candidates for the Philadelphia Eagles in 2026. We finally did it. We finally fired Patullo. It was way too long days without firing him, but we did it. They said they want an experienced offensive mind, which I'm taking into account, and I definitely want to. So, yeah, let's get into these 10 coaching candidates. At number 10 is Greg Roman. Now, Greg Roman was the Niners offensive coordinator for the Colin Kaepernick days. He went to Buffalo. He was an offensive coordinator in Baltimore and just got fired as the offensive coordinator of the Chargers. So he's been around the league a lot, and so it definitely helps because I don't think that he's going to get poached for a head coaching job. I don't think that people want that. But what we've seen is him work really well with mobile quarterbacks. We see, when his only time that he didn't have an offensive head coach, I'm pretty sure, was in Baltimore. And he had Lamar Jackson have a unanimous MVP. He is a good offensive coordinator. He does what he needs to do with mobile quarterbacks, definitely. I think we'd see Jalen Hurts more in the run game, which we want to see. And it's not like he ever just has terrible offenses or offensive collapse. I think that it'll be a fine offense if we get Greg Roman. It will be consistent. We know what we're getting, and we're not going to look absolutely stupid and stale like we do some of the other times. So that's why I like Greg Roman, but I don't see the upside exactly that I do with other guys. When you have 4 offense coordinator terms and we're fired from all 4, there is some problems. But I think he's a good coach. That's why I have him here at number 10. At number 9, a little bit different than everybody else, I have Nate Scheelhaase. He is the Rams passing game coordinator, and he's the only young guy on this list that has not been a former OC or a former head coach. And it seems like he is the hot name. He's getting NFL head coaching jobs, but he's young. Look at the picture. He looks young. I think the only other place he's been is Iowa State as the offense coordinator. So he hasn't done much, but we see him work with McVay. We see what this passing offense has become, and it seems that people really like this dude. And if there's a spot you want to be an offensive coordinator for 1 year before becoming a head coach, it's probably Philly. It's probably the most attractive OC job right now. So that's why I like him. I don't like him because, one, when you have Sean McVay, how much is he really doing? And also, it's probably a 1 year thing before he becomes a head coach. But I do think it could be a pretty successful year. That's why I have him here at number 9. Number 8, kind of an odd one, Doug Peterson. Former Eagles head coach, obviously also former Jags head coach. He had 2 failed head coaching terms. He is not failed as in fired. It wasn't a fail in Philadelphia. We won a Super Bowl. But 2 head coaching terms, he's not going to get a 3rd one. That just doesn't happen in the league. I think that he would be here for a long period of time, which I want in an OC. I'm tired of Jalen Hurts, 11 play callers in 11 years? That's unbelievable. That just doesn't work. But, yeah, Doug Peterson, he ran a solid offense. It was a little, we complained about it a little bit, and there were problems with it. It definitely seems a little bit dated at this point. But I do still think it's a solid offense. I think it's an offense that's a lot better than Patullo's. It's an offense that we can consistently run well. Some of the players know what they're doing already. So, yeah, that's why I have Doug up here at number 8. And also, he fits with the fans. He knows how to deal with Philly because he's been here for 5 years. So, yeah, Doug at number 8. At number 7, I have Brian Daboll. Now, Daboll has been an OC. I didn't know that he was an OC before he went to Buffalo. He was an OC 3 different places. None of them too successful, but then goes to Buffalo, really develops Josh Allen, goes to New York. It seemed like it was a solid offense. It seemed like they really liked Daboll, but it just wasn't getting the job done, which is why they fired him. But who is really going to get the job done in New York with that team? Probably not anybody. So I do like that. The pushback that I have on this is I do think teams still think of him highly, and he could probably get poached for a head coaching job pretty easily, as well as mobile quarterbacks is good. 4 concussions for your quarterback is really not good. I don't want Jalen Hurts doing that. But yeah, and I also didn't see like a ton of motion and a ton of the cool stuff that people talk about. But I do still like Brian Daboll. That's why he's here at number 7. At number 6, I have Todd Monken. Now, Todd Monken was an OC for the Bucks and the Browns, goes to college, and then comes back for the Ravens, and he's done, besides this past year, exactly what you want. You have Lamar win an MVP and then get robbed of an MVP. That's the way, like, it was a very good offense. Some of the losses this year, I think they'd be seen as much more of a successful team. They had pretty close losses. Lamar didn't play his best football. He was also hurt the entire year. I do think Todd Monken is a very solid offensive mind. He's turning 60. I don't really think teams will want him as a head coach. So I do see some positives there. The only negative I see is this past year it wasn't that great, as well as what does he really do that's special? Like, does he really do anything special? Or is Lamar Jackson just Lamar Jackson, which is true. He's pretty good. But yeah, that's why I have Tom Monken up here at number 6. Number 5, I have Kevin Stefanski. Now, Kevin Stefanski, 2-time Coach of the Year. It's always been very successful with Kevin Stefanski, especially the way that he runs the ball, whether it's with Judkins or Jerome Ford at 1,000 yards or Nick Chubb, obviously, going back to Minnesota with Dalvin Cook. Like, it's been good the way that he's able to run the football. Now he gets Saquon Barkley. That's pretty great. He hasn't had the best track record with quarterbacks, really. He's had, like, Baker did better when he left the Browns. He made the playoffs with Joe Flacco. That's a bit of an outlier. Did not work with Deshaun Watson and hasn't really worked with Gabriel or Shador. But he is a St. Joe's Prep native. He's very experienced. We know what we're getting. It might not be this crazy offense, but it is a good offense, and it's an offense that does their job, especially in the run game. So I would still very much like this hire. I do think also, though, he is highly regarded. He could get stolen, but I like Stefanski. I like the way that it seems. That's why he's up here at number 5. At number 4, I have Frank Reich. Now, Frank Reich, ever since, it is a bit of an outdated offense. Did not have a successful time with the Panthers. Has never really had a mobile quarterback before. But he did win a Super Bowl. He won a Super Bowl as the Eagles OC. He has dealt with the city. The fans love him. I mean, we were all screaming for a Frank Reich type of guy back when Doug was fired. I mean, I think that's why we hired Sirianni, because he came from the Colts and Frank Reich. But yeah, there are some Frank Reich problems, as I recently stated. But also, we saw Frank Reich build a whole new playbook for Nick Foles in 3 or 4 weeks that they used for the playoffs. It was so much more RPO heavy and took about the run game, and all the things that Wentz did well that Foles didn't were out. He can do, in a whole offseason with Jalen Hurts, what he needs to do. That's why I love Frank Reich, and that's why he's up here at number 4. At number 3, I have Eric Bieniemy. Now, what's happened? Because he was the Chiefs OC, he was the best candidate for a head coach for multiple years. He does amazing as the Chiefs OC. He leaves, goes to Washington. The Chiefs' offense has not been the same since. Had Sam Howell leading the league in passing yards until like 3 weeks left when he got benched for also having the most interceptions. And then he goes, coaches college, and now he's back as the Bears running back coach. And look at the way that the Bears can run the ball. He's great with passing. He's great with running. What's the problem with Eric Bieniemy? Is it a character problem with him? You're giving him full reins to the offense. I think this could be great. But the fact that he's not been an OC for a few years, it seems like he just keeps going down, is a problem. But I do still think that Eric Bieniemy is one of those guys. That's why I have him up here at number 3. At number 2, I have Cliff Kingsbury. Now, Cliff Kingsbury was this, hot commodity coming out of college, Texas Tech, goes to Arizona. I think he did pretty well with the offense in Arizona. He developed Kyler Murray well. And then in 2022, it just all fell apart. And he got fired. And he goes to Washington. He has this amazing season with Jane Daniels. Now, a lot of people like to talk about the one-season wonder thing. I think that Cliff Kingsbury would get a head coaching job if he had one good season here. That is true. But I love the way that the offense looks. I love the RPO game. I think that Jalen Hurts does RPOs pretty well. I love the way that he gets his quarterbacks involved in the run game. We need to see that out of Jalen Hurts. I like the way that his offense is structured, and I like the way that it just seems like they always come out on fire. They always know what to do, and they're doing their job early in the season. It gets a little stale late in the season, or it gets a little stale later in the tenure, it seems. But his first season here is going to be great. And then we win the Super Bowl, who cares? That's why I have Cliff Kingsbury up here at number 2. And number 1, far away, the number 1 guy, Mike McDaniel. I just think this is a beautiful fit. You get a guy, if our quarterback can't read defenses, Mike McDaniel is fine with that. He runs the ball well. He throws the ball well. All the motion, all the shifty stuff that we've shifted so far away from, he's bringing back to this offense. I think AJ would love it. I think Smitty would love it. You're able to feed multiple receivers. He has all the talent in the world in the run game. I think that this would be a perfect fit for what Mike McDaniel does. And I still think that he is one of the best offensive minds in football, if not the best offensive mind in football. It just wasn't working in Miami because the talent wasn't really there in Miami, especially once Tyreek Hill went down and you were throwing to Jalen Waddle and then Malik Washington. And it wasn't like Tua wasn't doing his best job. Jalen can do whatever Mike McDaniel needs him to do because it's not a ton. If Tua could lead the league in passing yards, Jalen Hurts could. So, yeah, that's why he's my favorite candidate. That's going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you're new, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.